I'm going to show you how to display the DTC code report on your instrument panel. And the way you do it, if you're having like an ABS light, this is what this video is about. ABS warning light is staying on. I got it corrected. It was the right hand wheel sensors. Replaced them both, and I don't have the ABS light on anymore. But you're going to see I still have the code in there because you need a diagnostic tool to clear the code, but it's not causing a problem. It's a history. Okay, here we go. You push the key in and you don't start. You just go to on from the off position 3 times. Okay, it's off, on, and you leave it. See, and there's the DTC Report U1418. That is the right-hand wheel sensor. It can be front or rear. I replaced them both, and I suggest you do that. If you notice, the DTC code did not stay in, meaning I do not have that problem, but it'll stay there. And the next code that comes in, that will be the one that will report. So it's kind of showing a history. Okay, that's how you can retrieve that code. This is going to be testing the wheel speed sensors for the 05 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I've already corrected my problem with my ABS light being on, and I just want to demonstrate what you may want to do to solve your problem. If your ABS light and skid control, along with a few other indicators, plus your cruise control will not work if the wheel speed sensors are bad. Okay, the first thing you have to do, as I showed you before, is find out what DTC code is displaying on the instrument panel. With a volt-ohm meter, I'm going to show you what the bad wheel sensor looks like. If you get the code, you don't really have to do this, but it's nice to check to find out just what is failing. Okay, this is the front wheel speed sensor. And notice they have these little plugs. They go into holes inside the wheel well, and they're already mounted on, so you don't have to mount them, and they're at the proper location, so everything is ready when you get the new ones. They're going to look just like this. This is the part that is going to plug in to the connector that goes to your ABS control module. And there's 2 pins in there, and these 2 pins go down to the wheel speed sensor. This is a mounting hole where a screw goes in. This is the part that goes in to your wheel hub, and this protrudes down to a tone ring, which has got all these notches on it, and as the wheel spins, this little picks up a magnetic signal from that tone ring and can compute what the wheel speed is to send to the computer. This is all important for your stability control, ABS, skid control, and all of that. Also to allow your cruise control to work. So let's find out just how to test this. You're going to do a resistant test. That will tell you if the wheel speed sensor is good or bad. What you're looking for is a steady reading of somewhere between 700 and 2,000 ohms. It's not critical, but the main thing that it's a steady reading and not fluctuating. So I've got my leads connected to the volt-ohm meter. I'm going to put it in ohms, and then I'm going to connect one side. There's the 2 pins. I'm going to connect one on there, and just go ahead and connect it across the connector like that, and the other one there. And you see I'm getting 573, but Before, that was giving me a fluctuating reading, and it's not doing it now. Aha. Whoop. That's a steady reading. Okay, let's find out what the other one, the back one, reads. Okay, and we're going to go here and here, and that one is open. See? There. When I bend it, okay, that's the bad one. I replaced them both. It looks like the front one is not it's not reading like it was before. There you go. That's a bad reading when it's doing like that. See, you just move it a little bit and it's jumping around. It shouldn't do that. Now I'm going to go back and test the other one. This was originally testing bad, but I'm going to see. I'm going to do it like I did before. See there. See, now it's reading bad. It's not reading a short like it should be. There. See? That's a bad reading right there. So they both will read good sometimes, and sometimes they won't. So when you get this code for the right or left, just go ahead and replace them. You'll be way ahead, because it might read good one time and bad another. It's going to end up giving you a ABS warning light if it gets any indication that there's an open or anything. Okay, now let's see what a new one. When you order your set of 4, you're going to get 4 of these, 2 front and 2 rear wheel speed sensors. Okay, and you'll notice they come just like the original. It's got all the little connectors that go into the hole, so as you look at it, you will be able to see how it's routed carefully, and you can take one off at a time and connect it back in. This is not a hard job. The hardest part is going to be getting the rotor off of the front of the wheel hub. You have to pry and bang with a hammer until it releases. It gets rusted on there a little bit. But once you get past that, this is very easy to install. Now let's test the new one. I haven't replaced the left side, but if I ever have trouble with the left side, I have the wheel speed sensors to do that. So I'm going to go here and connect this one there. And this one I'm going to connect right there. Okay, 713, and it stays steady. It's not fluctuating. That's what you have to have for a reading. So if you get the ABS code or the light on, and it tells you which side of the vehicle it's on, just replace them. You'll be way ahead. Okay, and the other one is going to test the same. Let's just check it to see. This is the new one. Okay, this one is 2,000. It can be anywhere from 700 to up to 2,000 or so. Now we're going to go to some video that I took of the key parts of installing the wheel speed sensors on the front and the back. So I'll try to keep it short and show you the main points that you have to work with. Okay, I'm going to give you an overall look of the wheel sensor. speed sensor, and this is the sensor right here. Let me just kind of pick up and let right there. That's a 5mm Allen screw that holds it in place, and it's routed up through here, down around, and all these little connectors come with it that push in and hold it in place. And right there is where it connects in to the leads going back to the computer. So the signals from the wheel speed sensor pickup unit, they travel along here and up to the computer, and it tells how fast this is spinning. So that's the main thing of it. If it's open and not no conductivity, then it can't read this, and that's what gives you the ABS amber alarm. So I'm thinking when I put this, I've changed this out, I'm going to do away with my ABS alarm. Okay, to get to this, it's behind this shield, and the rotor is in the way. So you have to take the rotor off, and it's probably the hardest thing. You have to beat on it and pry. You have to take some kind of a pry bar, put it behind here, pry, and at the same time bang with a hammer at various locations until it finally weakens and will release. So hey, have some balance, because when it releases, you're going to go flying backwards. So be ready for that. Okay, once you've got that off, then you can replace that. And you have to take the whole wheel caliper assembly off. I took the whole mounting frame off. You don't have to separate it, and it'll come right off. When it's in this configuration, don't go in and step on the brake, or you're going to end up moving these caliper pads, the brake pads, in, and it's not going to go back on. You're going to have to pry those things out with a C-clamp. So when it's like this, don't go in and touch the brake pedal. Okay, so that's all I had to do. It wasn't that bad. Like I say, the rotor is the hardest thing on this particular one. And this is a 05 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4-wheel drive. All right, these are the 2 bolts that hold the unit and the caliper on. And it's a looks like a 15. No, it's a 21mm. 21mm bolt holds those on. So it's not a bad job to do if you can manage to get the rotor off, but be prepared for that. Now I'm going to let you see how I put it back on. And oh, with this little thing up here, there's a little slide red cap. You've got to slide that up and then push on this back edge, and it will raise up a little piece of plastic that has a hole in it, and in this there's a little bump up there that it catches behind. So you got to push back on this, and it'll raise it up above that notch, and then you can wiggle it out.